I just noticed something. Mark Stevens, our new Young Talent Time member, before he did his bracket, he said, "John, would you mind my watch for me?" Look at that, in case you're thinking I'm being extravagant. That's my... Come on in, Mark. There you go, you can have your watch back now. Now don't make a mess of this. In case you're wondering what this is about, everybody at home and everybody here in the studio, because the program tonight was a 50s show, I'd like to show you some things that were popular in the 50s. First of all, remember this from the 50s, mums and dads? A genuine plastic lampshade, because plastics came in the 50s. And you remember the garden gnome? The garden gnome from the 50s. Every garden had a garden gnome in the 50s. And Maggie will love this, because she's still got some on her wall. She has. Remember the flying ducks on the wall, mums and dads? The flying ducks. Everybody had flying ducks, and Maggie still has them. Maggie and Ronnie, isn't that great? And this is the old record player. Remember, you used to be able to take, well, there's 78s. Actually, some early Chuck Berry records were made on 78s, Mark. You can hang on to that. But have a little listen to this. This was an old Kingsley record player. And have a listen to who I've got on the record.
Come on in. For the show. 3 to get ready. Now go, can't go. Step on my blue suede. You can do anything for me, all for my blue suede.
Hey! And look, have a listen to this one. You'll remember this one. Listen to this.
Another one-eyed cat, eat banana sleep good sure. And I can look at you and now you ain't no child no more.
That, of course, was Bill Haley, who started the whole thing back in the 50s. Now, here is some real nostalgia. All the mums and dads, and boys and girls, you should be proud of what you're about to see, because this was the original Australian car, and unfortunately, it's not made anymore.
After these exhaustive bench, workshop and laboratory tests, the prototypes take to the road again for further rugged. The test models are hard driven by expert driver mechanics. The widest variety of road surfaces and grades are chosen deliberately. Dusty tracks check engine and body sealing. Steep hill climbs, sharp S-bends and long stretches of open road provide speed and acceleration tests.
The old hip J. Wasn't that fantastic? And for rock and rollers, you'll remember this, the old Harley Davidson motorbike. Yeah.
A 1340cc, and if it fell over, it'll take at least 3 or 4 men to lift it back up. And that's what I call a monster.
Oh, that's Vinny, what a mighty motorbike that is. And now, boys and girls, it's time you can have a little laugh, because this is what your mum and dad used to look like. First of all, this is the dress of the 50s. Isn't that wonderful? I remember my mum wearing that, and this is what the dads used to wear. I remember the suits always looked bigger than, like they didn't fit as well, but that's a beauty. Okay. Speaking of clothes, during the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, there were fantastic rock and roll songs recorded all on themes of clothes. And we're going to have a little look at them right now, going right from the 50s right through to the rock and roll songs about clothes of the 80s. So here they come for our Young Talent Time closing. Here's the team.
Kind you find in a second.
show. Free to get ready now, go, can't go. Step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off my blue suede shoes. We can burn my house, steal my car, drain my liquor from an old fruit jar. Do anything that you want to do, but honey, they hardly let you go. Step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off my blue suede shoes. We can do anything but lay off my blue suede shoes.
Okay, John, we're all showing up.
Oh, so, oops, sorry. I was just mucking around, you know. Just a boy with a toy. We've got to find out who the winner is, who's going to win the $250 from Big McDonald's. That's good, isn't it?
Terrific.
We thank McDonald's for that, and this beautiful Casio thingamajig, which I was mucking around with. A lot
You're
of
very
fun.
good with that, actually.
I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yes. Who's going to tell us about the three contestants before we
love
go,
to do
so
it.
we know who the winner is?
Says I. Okay,
Right.
contestants number one was Angelo, Melanie and Maria. A nicely produced little act, kids, and you obviously went to a lot of trouble with your costumes and your choreography, and you really moved it along a very fresh, exciting act. Well done.
And contestants number two were...
Number two was Jude Meat, and a great sense of rhythm you got there, Jude. I'd like to have seen you do a few more fills, just maybe a solo, to show us just how good you are. Very, very confident, very talented. Well done, mate.
And final contestant, Tanya Sullivan, 13-year-old from New South Wales.
A lovely voice, Tanya, and loads of personality, lots of movement. You really worked to your cameras well and gave us lots of personality and a very fine performance. Great.
Okay, are you going to announce the winner?
I am, John. Contestants number one, Angelo, Melanie and Maria.
Has anyone to give them the prizes? Boy, it's been fun tonight.
Terrific.
I love it. I could do it all again. Have you had a good time with us, everybody? We hope you have at home too, and join us again 7 days from now, because next week Young Talent Time goes to the snow, and we're going to have a freezing time of lots of hot music in the town. Welcome to the show, Mark. Good to have you with us. And next week, a very special teary night, because we're going to say farewell to one of our Young Talent Time regulars, Karen Duncan. I hope you'll join us for that big night with Karen next week. Oh, I'm crying already. Do you? And I'll pretend. Good night, Vinny.
Good night, John.
That I miss it. Good night, Katie. Those lips I am missing. Good night, Vanessa. Good night, Karen. See you next week for the big one. Good night, Natalie Miller. That was great in the bikini. Good night, Bevan. Good night, Timmy. Every day. Good night, good night, Danielle. You were in, were you? Okay, good night to our judges.
Good night, John.
Hey, and that's it from us. Have a great tomorrow. See you next week. Bye, everybody.
While in Melbourne, our guests stay at the Rathdown International Hotel. Whilst in Sydney, Johnny Young and the cast choose to stay at the Southern Cross, a hotel in the classic manner. Our weekly winners share in the McDonald's Scholarship Fund. Our grand final winner flies Qantas, the Spirit of Australia, to the United States or Europe. Young Talent Time is a television house production for Network 10 Australia.